My name is Dlova. I'm the owner of BP Kyalami, a business that's in the Kyalami area in Johannesburg, consisting of BP, a Pick and Pay Express, and as well as a Wild Bean Cafe. The reason I'm inspired and excited to be in this particular industry is that really the fuel retail industry is the driving force of the economy. There is no space, no sector that can do without, and I think that in itself is exciting. I think for me personally, the biggest misconception that people have about this particular industry from an entrepreneurial space is that because it's a cash business, immediately it comes with the riches and the wealth. It's not the case at all. There's a lot of hard work that goes into the space, but there's also a lot of money that one has to pump in. It takes time for you to really see the rewards, especially if you have to go and source the funding first. And the reality for most of us is that that's the route that we had to follow. You know, when we talk the transformation agenda, I think you have two types of people or thought processes that come through. There are those individuals that are very keen, that are wanting to be part and parcel of the transformation agenda, and then they know and realize the fact that this industry has to transform. Then unfortunately you have the other type of person or the mindset that says, I'm not interested in transformation and therefore I don't want to partake in it. And I find that very sad because I think the more people that get involved, the more people that are part of the conversation means that you can get rich and diverse opinions coming through. It's not exactly a straight cut issue to deal with. The more people that are conversant and are part and parcel of the discussions, I think the better it is for the entire industry, because in that way you then start to find solutions that can basically then take the industry to the next level. I think the reason why a lot of women are not playing in this space is just purely because it's never been an option for them. It's never been an industry that's necessarily been top of mind, and it's never been an industry where one has necessarily received some form of exposure. So I think now the more people, the more women that are in the space, the more we become an example, I guess, to other women that, hey, you know, I've never thought of this space, but I've seen, I've heard, I've come across, individuals, that are already operating in the space, and not just operating in the space, but actually making a success of the space that they're in. So to those women that were never quite sure that retail, fuel retail space was necessarily for them, I say go for it. In my particular operation, and I think like most others, there are a number of challenges. But of course, the most important thing is to identify the challenge and be able to identify solutions to close any gaps if there may be. The challenges that I faced initially really spoke to the controls and the systems that one had to put in place. And the reality is when you're new to an industry, you don't know what you don't know. The back-end system has to be the system that really tells you exactly what is going on. And if you don't have the right type of system, you're obviously not going to pick up on the issues. So those are all the learnings I think for me have come through over the last couple of years. I think the reason I could consider that my business has been a success is that from day one, I did have a mentor. Even though the relationship was informal in nature, the reality is there's a lot that I was able to learn from that individual because I didn't have the experience. And also the added dynamic for me was I was not taking over an established business. I was starting up a business from scratch. Therefore, there were no controls, there were no systems, there was no staff, there was literally nothing in place. I had to go about putting all of that in place. And having someone to guide me, someone that I could go to, was very critical for myself. Last thoughts I'd like to leave you with is that do your homework, be thorough. Because the reality is not everybody is fit for this space. And it's not about your gender as far as I'm concerned, it's simply about your skills, your ability, your capabilities. So I just say to young people, take the risk, look for the sites, look for the opportunities, see what it is that's out there. There's huge potential in the space, and it's not a space that is going anywhere anytime soon.